Could everyone please join me in a prayer? Dear Lord, I ask you to bless the class of 2023 on this day we've all been waiting for. Bless their lives from this day on with goodness and love. Help them stay true to their dreams, to use their gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Welcome to the graduation of the class of 2023. I'm Kelly Bliss, class president. Chance, the occurrence and development of events in the absence of any obvious design. A few weeks ago, as I was sitting in physics class, Mr. Vogus went on a tangent, which he often does, when talking about the second law of thermodynamics that really stuck with me. He said, I believe that we all did not end up here simply because it was the most probable outcome, or by chance. Instead, I think that there is a deeper reason. As I reflect on the events of the past days, weeks, and even years, I'm reminded of just how precious life is, and the significance of each of us in this very moment. Over this past year, I've looked over multiple lists of my classmates' names for the various responsibilities and tasks that I had as class president. While I probably should have been proofreading their spelling or making sure they were in the correct order for whatever the task might have been, I often would find myself thinking of each name and the impact that you each have had on me and this school. The conversations, the classes, hallway encounters, and the achievements that you each have accomplished in one capacity or another. Each of us have sacrificed something and worked towards something to get to this point, here on this stage this evening. I have seen the 3-sport athlete balancing practice, games, and a heavy academic workload. The student who leaves work at 12 a.m. but still manages to come to school on time, albeit occasionally late. The student caring for their younger siblings, or the student caring for the animals in the barn who always happen to be born the night before a chemistry exam. Yes, people like that still do exist. The student who's stepped outside of their comfort zone to try something new, and the student who's balancing struggles that really no one else could see. I know that on this stage, our future teachers, doctors, equipment operators, engineers, linemen, musicians, athletes, military, and members of the workforce that our world desperately needs. I hope you remember that you did not simply end up here just by chance, but because of an intentional effort and plan for your life. To the teachers and staff who have helped myself and my class get to this point, I am sincerely grateful for the time, advice, and sacrifices that you have given to each of us. I would personally like to thank Mr. Vogus, Mrs. Gilland, Mrs. Snyder, Ms. Corson, the staff at the late Mapleton Elementary, and each and every educator and staff that has given me the knowledge and determination to reach for my dreams. I would also like to thank Ms. Fisher and Mrs. Cooper for your guidance and the many opportunities that you have given me through FFA and FBLA as I was figuring out who I was as a leader and as a person in general. To the family and supporters in the audience, thank you for the love, support, and grace that you have shown to me and my classmates. I know that I would not be standing here on this stage this evening if it weren't for my family, and I know that many of my classmates can say the same. If there is one lasting impact that I hope to leave on this school, it is a reminder to make the most out of this short, precious thing we call life. Esther chapter 1, verse 9 states, "For you were made for such a moment as this." This may be the end of one chapter of our lives, but don't forget to cherish the times that we still do have. Step out into something new, embrace the challenges, and know that our lives can either be ruled by chance or we can choose to live this life intentionally and with purpose. It's been an honor and a privilege, and remember, the world really does need each of us. I can't wait to see where life takes us after tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Luke Strasser, and I'm the Curriculum Director for grades 6 to 12 here at Mount Union, but most of the students of the class of 2023 remember me as their 7th grade geography teacher. Do you guys remember anything that you learned in my class? Well, I was hoping that you would, because we're going to have a little bit of a pop quiz here. We're going to start with an easy one. Does anyone remember which river is the longest in the world? Very good, very good. It is the Nile. The next one's a little harder. What do we call all the little rivers that flow into the Nile? Juveniles. Little Niles. Last one. Which of the 50 states in the United States is the smartest, most intelligent? Alabama. Okay, it has 4 A's and 1 B. It's pretty good. But seriously, in geography class, we spent a lot of time learning about maps and how to use them. Back when I was teaching geography, I could read maps pretty much better than anyone. You might have said that I was even a map legend. That's my last attempt to be funny, I promise. The rest of the speech is very serious, so listen up. As your former geography teacher, I do think it's fitting that on your graduation night, I should give you one more lesson about how to navigate in the world when you feel like you're lost. Because in all likelihood, sometime in the not-so-distant future, you're going to find yourself wondering where you are and how you got there. And when you find yourself there, here's the best piece of advice that I can offer to you. Remember where you came from. That might sound a little bit simplistic, but trust me, it's easy to forget where you're from. I've been where you are, and I understand. Graduation doesn't really seem like a time to think about where you came from. Instead, you want to think about where you're going. Many of you can't wait to get out of here, and you're ready to run full speed into life outside of this building and outside of Mount Union. And that is normal, and there's nothing wrong with that. And everyone in the room tonight knows that each one of you is bound for greatness. I know it because I could see it when you were 12 years old in my classroom. But remember this, greatness can come from anywhere, and you come from Mount Union. Don't forget where you're from. And get used to figuring out how to explain where you're from to other people, because after you leave here, you're going to meet a lot of new people, and they're all going to ask where you're from. Many of them will have never heard of Mount Union. Some people may look down their noses at you because you come from a small town that they've never heard of. Others might look down at you because they have heard of Mount Union and they think they're better than you. Make no mistake about it, those people are ignorant and they are snobs. But when you meet them, don't shy away from telling them where you came from, because coming from Mount Union provides you with a few distinct advantages that they do not have. I know this because I also grew up in a small town that very few people have heard of. In fact, a few years ago, my wife and I moved to Lewistown, and on one of our first nights there, it was a Friday night, and we decided to order pizza for dinner. I remember asking my wife to call in the order, and I told her that I'd go pick it up. She said to me, "You know, they probably deliver the pizza here." My mind was blown. I had only ever seen that on TV and in the movies. But I'd like to share with you a few lessons that I learned from growing up in a little town, and I'm sure these are lessons that you've already learned as well. But if you keep these ones in mind, you'll have no trouble remembering where you came from. The first lesson is that you need to get along with people that you disagree with. You see, it seems backwards, but people who live in big cities don't really have to do this. There's enough other people living around for them to constantly place themselves in a community of like minds. In communities like ours, that kind of avoidance is not an option. You've had to sit beside, talk with, and work with people who you disagree with. By virtue of where you've spent your formative years, you've already begun learning how to do that. The second lesson is that even when it seems like no one is watching, someone definitely is. In a small community like ours, you've got to be careful what you say and do in public. And that might seem like a bit of a drawback, but it's an important lesson. You are accountable to other people. Other people are always impacted by your actions, good and bad. The third lesson, and probably the most important, is that everyone is your neighbor. We've all heard that we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves, but not everybody knows who their neighbor is. Here in Mount Union, we're all neighbors. This is something that I know you already understand because I've seen your lives bear fruit that proves it. I've seen it in the way that your class has rallied around classmates in times of great personal tragedy, and in the way that you've supported each other in times of celebration. I've seen you shut down the whole town to celebrate a team that just won a state championship, and I've seen you throw your efforts behind Champ to help raise over $100,000 in support of families in need. That kind of thing doesn't happen everywhere, but it does happen in Mount Union. In my time here in Mount Union, I have been blessed to watch you grow into the young men and women that you are today. And one of my favorite things about you all is that you dream wildly. You do. And it's awesome. And I can't wait to see you go out and achieve those dreams. And if you ever get lost on the way, just remember where you came from. You're from Mount Union. So class of 2023, it's been my honor to have been your teacher and to speak to you in this season of your life. Please don't forget that God has already blessed you, and I know He'll continue to. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to call forward the class of 2023 of the Mount Union Area High School valedictorian, Kendra Wirtz.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank you for joining us for the Class of 2023 commencement ceremony. Tonight is a night of celebration and recognition. As we conclude our week of senior festivities, I want to share my perspective of these last 4 years, but especially this year. When talking to my dad about what to put in this speech, he gave me this advice: think with your heart, not with your head. So that is what I plan to do. I remember sitting on my bed during COVID on a Zoom meeting. During this meeting, I found out I was second in the class. Being the perfectionist that I am, that wasn't good enough for me. So I completely rearranged my priority list, placing this new goal at the top. Sure, I was still involved in clubs and activities and work, but I always had this lingering stress in the back of my mind. I think I could have absorbed this year a little bit more if I hadn't been so obsessed with my grades, but I can't go back in time. Do I regret working hard to achieve this goal? No, because I wouldn't be standing here before you today giving this speech if that were the case. However, I do regret treating high school as if it were Harvard Law School. I was very cutthroat and serious about everything academically, so much so that I realize now how much I may have missed. I may have been there physically, but mentally I was kind of checked out. I never stepped back and realized that this chapter of my life was closing, and I'll never get it back. I won't lie, it feels good to hear a name announced as valedictorian, and knowing my GPA, a single-digit number, was the highest. But this is only temporary. I will wake up tomorrow, hopefully around noon, and realize, why all the commotion? Why did I think this was life or death? By tomorrow, we will all reflect and let go of high school. By next week, we will all have moved on. By next month, we'll be preparing to go off into our new lives. In a year, nobody's going to dwell on this. This moment, this speech, everything will all be a memory and nothing more. This leads me to give this piece of advice. Do not take anything in life too seriously, because you might miss out on some pretty special times. Sure, this medal hangs around my neck nicely, and I'm proud to wear it, but it does not define me. What defines me is the friendships I have made over my past 4 years here. What defines me is the character I have built over time. Although the title rings very nicely, valedictorian is not my definition. This year I took some pretty tough classes. I was always used to getting everything naturally and having an A, and then I had a 62% in my physics test grade in Power School. I was a little bit angry, kind of at Mr. Vogus, but mostly at myself. It wasn't like I didn't study for the test. I even asked for extra help, but I still failed. Then I realized failure is inevitable. Nobody's perfect. Not me, nobody in this auditorium, nobody in the cafeteria, and nobody in the world. Failure is the first step in learning. You may feel you're completely prepared, and you still may fail. It's part of life. When you fail, embrace it. If you beat yourself up every time something goes wrong, nothing productive happens afterward. Embrace failure. After today, our lives will be changed forever. High school is over, and the real world awaits. Everything's going to be different. Growing up, and even still today, I hated change. And I even hate the idea of change long before it happens. But I've always viewed change in such a negative way, and I never realized how positive it could be. I'm sure we all remember being in 8th grade, ready to go to 9th grade, and terrified of the new big hallway that we were so unfamiliar of. Then the next year we got there and realized that there was nothing to worry about in the first place. I soon realized how much more I liked senior year than junior. 2 years ago, around this time, I experienced significant change. My big sister, who I had lived with for my entire life, was moving over 9 hours away. I was so proud of her, but I had no clue how to react to that sort of change. We shared a bedroom until I was 11 years old. How was I supposed to let that go? Opportunity. She had an opportunity of a lifetime, and I knew she had no choice but to take it. Don't get me wrong, it was hard. It's still hard going to her empty bedroom in the basement in search of a new outfit and shoes. I know many of you are in the same position. Some of you have siblings in the military, and others of you have siblings that live far from home. But I think we all know that's the best thing for their future and their career. Although I want to avoid the cliche graduation speech, no speech is complete without acknowledgments. So there are a few people that I want to recognize for helping me become who I am. He's not here tonight, but I still want to recognize him. Mr. Vogus, you have taught me the outcome of hard work and motivation. Your classes brought me to tears on more than one occasion, but they were still my favorite. Your wit and positive attitude are things that this school would have been incomplete without. These past 2 years have been difficult but enjoyable due to the environment that he creates in his classroom. I learned important lessons like time management and prioritization. Thank you for laughing with me on the good days and advising me on the bad days. Your words of advice are words that I will carry with me the rest of my life. Next to Miss Gilliland. Starting with English composition last year to this year with AP English, our time together has been nothing short of special. I never would have dreamt of writing for the Daily News, but in 9th grade you convinced me of it, and I took a chance. Thank you for the opportunity to express myself through my articles. Even though we were ripped off a few of the weeks, it was just fun to be part of the club. I'm excited to continue writing in college. Having the support of peers and colleagues is great, but having the support of family is even greater. I've been incredibly fortunate to have many people cheering me on in my family. First, to my Mimi and Pappy. You two are biologically not the titles you were given, but you feel them as if you were. I admire you both more than you know. The bravery and confidence that you both possess amazes me. Thank you for being examples of who I want to be when I grow up. You both mean the world to me. Next to my dad. Many people in this school think you're a hard-headed strickler, but to me, you're a teddy bear. I've looked up to you since I was a little girl. You've always taught me many valuable lessons in life. You've always said, haters are gonna hate, and I always hated that because I wanted to prove them wrong, but you said I had no reason to. You've always encouraged me to do my best in everything I do. We may have had a rocky relationship here and there, but it is the unbreakable bond between a father and daughter that I'm so grateful for. I'm ready to leave high school, don't get me wrong, but I'm not ready to give up my visits to the gym for fatherly advice. Thank you for always bringing out the best in me. Finally, to my mom. My main goal in life has been to make you proud. You've always held high standards for me because you know my potential. I cannot say how grateful I am for the life that you provided for me. I know growing up, things were not easy for you, yet you persevered. You are the type of woman I aspire to be when I grow up. Independent, reliable, nurturing, and incredibly resilient. There really is no better feeling than coming home after a long day to just sit and talk with you. Thank you for holding my pieces together. I say all that to not only recognize some of the most important people in my life, but also to help other graduates realize how much family matters. You're here today because you all did it, but not on your own. Everyone sitting up here had someone supporting them in their high school career. These same people will continue to support you for the rest of your life. Don't get me wrong, I know that arguments get started. I have argued with both of my parents more than I'd like to admit, and as much as I hate to say it, they were usually right. But whatever advice you're given, your loved ones only want what's best for you. I want to share a quote from a song of Taylor Swift's. Take pictures in your mind of your childhood room. Memorize what it sounded like when your dad gets home. Remember the footsteps, remember the words said, in all your little brother's favorite songs. I just realized everything I have is someday gonna be gone. The people you love will not be around forever. I understand that that's a hard pill to swallow, and I struggle with that myself. But as we grow older, they do too. And this summer is going to fly by. You're going to want to spend time with your friends before you go their separate ways, and that's completely understandable. But I ask of you to do this. I ask that you don't forget the ones who wiped your tears off after a tough loss, the ones who applauded you yesterday when your name was called, the ones who had your back when you weren't even around, the ones that will love and encourage you no matter where you go or what you do. So don't be too cool to give your mom an extra hug. Take time to have lunch with your grandparents. Let your little siblings ride shotgun every once in a while. And hold on tight to these people because life is so short, but it remains precious. I want to leave you with this. Take your life one day at a time. Someone very close to me told me this the other day. Yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And this quote is from the most inspiring and motivational movie, Kung Fu Panda. But it speaks truth. Dwelling on the past will not change anything, and worrying about the future will drive you insane. All you can do is focus on the right here and right now. Live every moment offered to you in this beautiful life, and trust that there is a plan for you. And wherever life takes you, and whatever you do, think with your heart, not with your head. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call forward the Mount Union Area High School class of 2023 salutatorian, Emma Smith.
Hello, everyone. I also wanted to thank you all for coming out today to recognize and celebrate the Mount Union Area High School graduating class of 2023. This week has been both chaotic and joyful, but we're finally here. I wanted to use my time here today to showcase two important skills that I learned throughout my high school career that I believe will be useful to the entire class going forward. The first skill I want to illustrate is time management. I am a serial procrastinator, ask anyone that knows me. I finalized my speech, the one that I'm saying to you all right now, earlier today. So it stands true that I hold things off till the very last minute. So throughout my high school career, I would constantly put assignments on the back burner and would then struggle to complete them before their due date. I would stay up late to complete worksheets or wake up super early to complete a presentation due that day. All this holding off and waiting only brought me stress and gray hairs. Literally ask Smokey. It's bad. It took me too long to realize the importance of time management. If I had completed my assignments way before they were due, I would not only lessen the stress I had, but also give myself more time for important things, like my family and sleep. Going forward, I want to prioritize my time better, and I hope that you all do too. College isn't the only place where time management is important. At work, you may need to complete complex projects that can't be done in one night. Trade school also applies. You can't build a house, bake a wedding cake, or rewire a room in an hour. At least, I hope not. Overall, I think that if we managed our time better going forward, it would save not only our well-being, but also our hair. The second skill I want to tell you all is about being social. I know it seems like a no-brainer that social skills are important, but I really want to highlight their importance. I was a quiet kid in junior high. I rarely spoke to people and didn't engage myself with anything. Looking back, I kick myself for not speaking up and involving myself more. Once high school started, I joined more clubs and met more people. Here, I started to branch out more with when I spoke and what I took interest in. I started to come out of my shell and became the person I am today in front of you all. When we start our new journeys in the fall, or sooner or later for some of you, I want you all to be vocal. I want you to make new friends and join new clubs and engage yourself in your new life. I only made it through high school because of you all. So continue to be the people you are when you move forward and continue to light up the worlds of the people you meet. Overall, I want you all to never doubt yourself in your journey. Make sure you manage your time and energy well, but most importantly, remain yourself. You are all amazing, and I know you will do great things, so prove me right. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call forward the President of the Student Council, Erica Ryan.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Strasser. I'd like to start off by giving my gratitude to the Student Council and its advisors for giving me the opportunity to speak today. Kaylee and Sheila, I love you both so much, and you helped me a lot through Student Council and everything personally that we like to chit-chat about. Next to my parents, thank you for always guiding me and giving me courage to go after everything I've ever wanted. I love you both so much. And to my siblings, thank you for never wavering to fill the empty space in the crowd and always being an amazing yet loud support system. Brace yourselves, they'll probably be very loud after I'm done. Life would be a lot less entertaining without you all. And to my teachers, thank you for making this school year challenging, fun, and easy to skip. Just kidding, of course. I appreciate the endless words of encouragement and for pushing me past the comfort zones I would find myself in. I give our teachers and staff all the kudos for putting up with my class along with our shenanigans. We thank you all for never giving up on us. And lastly, thank you to my fellow classmates. We made it, guys. After tonight, we'll leave this building and go our separate ways. I hope each and every one of you finds success in your life. I want to thank you all for the memories, laughs, tears, and friendships. I wish you all the best. And remember that you can do anything you put your mind to, as I leave you with this quote by the one and only Lil Wayne. God can judge me, I don't need a jury. Nothing's standing in my way, like nothing's my security. So keep that in mind as you move forward in your life. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
At this time, I'll call forward Mr. Jim Foster.
Thank you, and I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the Mount Union community, the administration, school district, staff, and the class of 2023. You don't know how, in your own special way, each one of you touched my heart. And I'm blessed to have had that opportunity. So I want to say thank you for giving me that blessing. And remember what Mr. Strasser says. Know where you're from, Mount Union, and be proud of it. I'm proud of you. At this time, we'd like to recognize our honor students. So we ask that you stand when your name is called, and please hold your applause until the end. Lillian Anderson, Kelly Bliss, Shelley Bliss, Abigail Broadbeck, Dalton Collins, Trenna Decker, Caleb Donahue, Cameron Donaldson, Calder Eisenhart, Johnson Flegel, Erica Forgy, Philip Gladfelder, Bradley Gosshorn, Trinity Henry, Lydia Immel, Braden Klein, Riley Lemin, Antonio Matos, Noah Morgan, Rex Payne, Ryan Plank, Tiana Ridley, Erica Ryan, Brady Shaver, Shama Sheeter, Elliot Simpson, Bria Seitz, Emma Smith, Sophie Smith, Lyndon Smoyer, Lisa Stoner, Kendra Wirtz, Chelsea Williams, Ellison Zook. These are our honor students. We're proud of them, and thank you.
At this time, I'll call forward Dr. Diane Thomas.
I've been given the privilege to talk about 3 areas that have and will change a few of our students' lives tremendously. The first, the Morrison Scholarship. The John S. Morrison Scholarships were created by Oliver L. Etnier in honor of his uncle, John S. Morrison. Mr. Etnier, who was born in Mount Union, Pennsylvania in 1868 and died in 1950, created a trust with Williamton Trust Company, Williamton, Delaware, as trustee to provide these scholarships. The John S. Morrison Scholarships are academic scholarships awarded to certain Pennsylvania high school students who will major in engineering, physics, computer science, or applied mathematics at any of the following institutions: Carnegie Mellon University, Cornell University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, Stevens Institute of Technology, and Yale University. Mount Union Area School District seniors who are accepted and enrolled in one of the 6 eligible colleges will be given first choice of the scholarship award. 2 students from the graduating class of 2023 were selected to receive the Morrison Scholarship, a full academic scholarship worth over $300,000. This year's recipients of the John S. Morrison Scholarship are Kelly Bliss and Emma Smith. Kelly will be attending Cornell University, and Emma will be attending Stevens Institute of Technology. Congratulations, Kelly and Emma. Some of you may not realize that there are a few individuals on the stage that have actually graduated with a college degree prior to graduating tonight with a high school diploma. Our Accelerated College Education Program, commonly referred to as ACE, begins in 9th grade. During their high school career, students complete a specific sequence of college-level coursework with both Mount Union and Pennsylvania Highland professors and within classrooms. Upon successful completion, students earn 63 college credits and fulfill requirements for an Associate of Arts degree. For the 8th time, we are proud to recognize members of the class of 2023 who, in addition to earning their high school diploma, have also earned an Associate of Arts degree in liberal arts and sciences. Please stand as I call your name. Abigail Brodbeck, Noah Morgan, Emma Smith, Lyndon Smoyer, and Kendra Wirtz. 4 of these 5 students are honors graduates with cumulative college grade point averages between 3.5 and 4.0. Keep in mind that they're maintaining a grade point average at the college level and also maintaining outstanding grade point averages at the high school level. That is quite the feat. In addition to the white stoles with green lettering, these 4 students are recognized with gold Pennsylvania Highland honor cords. Congratulations. Lastly, the LenFest Scholarship. The LenFest College Scholarship Program is not simply a scholarship opportunity for high-achieving students who desire to attend college. Some of the criteria that must be met to be considered for the scholarship include ambition to succeed at a challenging college or university, academic achievement, leadership qualities, and commitment to service, as well as personal development and maturity. Starting from the time they are chosen, LenFest scholars join a community of learners and leaders who aspire to make a difference in the world. Congratulations to this year's recipients of the LenFest Scholarship, Kelly Bliss and Shelley Bliss. The monetary value of the LenFest Scholarship is up to $12,000 per year for 4 years.
At this time, I'll call forward Mrs. Hope Palm.
Good evening. As Assistant Principal of Mount Union Area Senior High School, I certify that these seniors have met all the requirements set forth by the Mount Union Area School District and the state of Pennsylvania. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare the class of 2023 to be graduates of Mount Union Area Senior High School. I would now like to invite the following individuals onto the stage to assist with the presentation of diplomas. Dr. Amy Smith, Superintendent. Dr. Diane Thomas, Director of Special Education and Pupil Services. And Mr. Dwayne Gerhardt, President of the Mount Union Area School District Board of Directors. Row 1, please rise. Lillian Ray Olivia Anderson. Lainey Madeline Williamson. Abigail Elizabeth Forshee. Kelly Lynn Bliss. Shelley Dawn Bliss. Jonelle Lenora Welsh. Analia Alicia Santiago. Gracie Jacqueline Kramer. Lisa Faith Stoner. Saidia Anaya Morant. Erica Lynn Forgy. Wanda Mallory Grijalva. Row 1, please be seated. Row 2, please rise. Ellison Marie Zook. Kendra Rochelle Gardner. Tiana Renee Ridley. Micaiah Shaylin Steele. Shamara Lindell Peck. Christopher James Ortiz. Tabitha DeRose Neely. Sophia Marie Smith. Chelsea Kelly Williams. Emma Ashley Smith. Alasia Sky Fortson.
I like them shoes.
Kaylee Ann Taylor. Jocelyn Camille Flagel. Riley Ann Lemon. Row 2, please be seated. Row 3, please rise. Mason Deweese Beatty. Dawson Wyatt Hess. Carter Lee Landrum. Abigail Marie Broadbeck. Zachary Charles Stoner. Kendra Rochelle Wirtz. Logan Dwayne Varner.
Logan, I see you.
Connor Eugene Copenhaver. Lyndon Matthew Smoyer. Caleb Joshua Donahue. Trinity Dove Henry. Pearson Cole Price. Shama Renee Sheeter. Erica Elise Ryan. Row 3, please be seated. Row 4, please rise. Dominic James Coulter. Brock Ryan James. Braden Douglas Klein. Skip Carl Seacrest. Caleb Dennis Hagens. Calder Jacob Eisenhart. Cameron David Donaldson. Lydia Kylie Emmel. Trenna Grace Decker. Noah Troy Morgan. Christopher Patrick Price. Landon McLean Johnson. Holden David Park. Bria Lynn Seitz. Michaelan Tage Huffnagel. Madison Renee Krebs. Row 4, please be seated. Row 5, please rise. Rex Allen Payne. Braylon Eric Knable. Bradley Paul Gosshorn. Donovan Strong Williams. Dyson Philip Jenkins. Chase Owen Snyder. Ryan Adam Plank. Lucas Antonio Barksdale. Ryan Nicholas Scott. Gabriel James Atherton. Derek Member Mene. Javian Xavier Broombaugh. Evan Tyler Edward Coder. Antonio Marine Matos. Skylar Jaden Reck. Elliot Landon Simpson. Row 5, please be seated. Row 6, please stand. Logan Matney. Jackson Reed Edward Porter. Dalton James Collins. Draymond Douglas Williams. Austin Roger Lee Landrum. Brady Robert Shaver. Deegan Barry Douglas Rittenhouse. Corey Ryan Blair. Clayton Charles Fultz. Philip Matthew Gladfelter. Gabriel Miguel Stewart. Jarrell William Perkins. Andrew James Cuff. Quentin Lawrence Flasher. Class, please rise. It is my honor to present to you the graduating class of 2023.
Now, I'd like to invite everybody to join the class of 2023 in singing the Mount Union Area High School alma mater.
It is my honor to accept the diplomas on behalf of the class of 2023. Class, please turn your tassels. Please be seated.
Now I'll invite forward Jocelyn Flegel to offer tonight's benediction.
Let us pray. Lord, I thank you for this opportunity to be here on stage today as we graduate and take on the next step in our journey. I ask you to guide us and shine your light on us as we travel the road that will lead us to our future. May our hearts always remember the times we have shared in these halls and the memories that we made in our years here at Mount Union. May hope always be in our soul and love always remain. Please bless this class of 2023 as we end this chapter and start a new one. We thank you for everything, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.